How you doing? So this is the next update for Pittsburgh Model Railroad. So as you can probably see now, got quite a bit of track down, which is majorly cool. So as it stands now, we're looking at the west side staging, and this is the access coming in. The tracks lying right up the top there are just going to be to hold engines and locos, and then the ladder tracks, as you see coming down here, are coming into my long staging, which is roughly 15 to 16 foot in length for 6 tracks, which is cool. 5 of them for storage, and the track that runs right along the back wall is my in-track, my inbound track, where my locos and that will come in. So as far as this goes, all the areas up here is done. Everything in green is now installed, and the main line's nearly done. I've got a few lengths of track at the end here. The red writing on it is track detection points. So the back line at number 11 there is going to have 2. So the panel, the mimic board that we're going to have, which is going to sit just off point number 1 there, as you come into the yard, we'll have track detection to see what's sitting in it. This 2 through to 6 is going to have track detection just sitting at the front there to show you're in the line. And the main line 1, because the locos will be at the head, is going to have track detection right down the bottom there. Once the loco hits that point, you'll be, well, they're only 7 feet long each loco, 2.1 metres. So you'll be well in the yard, well clear of the point system. You can disconnect, and then the loco switcher can come in and start switching the stuff into the different yards preparation. So that's how that's sitting just now. So also I've managed to get the turning track in at the top end. So these two tracks here come off of the ladders each end and go through the right hand point here, which then goes all the way back through the back into the head shunt. So that is literally just the head shunt for the yard, for it to work back through on that front. Again, there'll be track detection just at the end there, because you won't actually be able to see this from when you're operating on this side, because there'll be a wall. Pretty much you'll be looking straight at a wall just now. So the mimic panel will show you once your loco, because your loco is going to be at this end for switching, has reached that point, and you can not run it off the rails, which should be pretty handy. So in this instance up here, most of the track is, I've only got this one track here to bring in, which is just going to follow the purple line all the way around here. There's a mess everywhere under my soldering iron into here, where I am going to come into, there's going to be a curved right hand point up here, and there's going to be which is over here. So you're going to come off a curved left even, you're going to come off a curved left there like that, come off left like that. You're going to have a track going back that way. Sorry if I can actually point it to the right place. A track going back that way, which is a head shunt for helper locos at the bottom end. And then we're going to have another track here. So the 2 lines are going to continue all the way through. The 3rd line, which comes off here up at the end, is going to be a programming track, which is going to sit along here. Because this area in here, right up to the black line, you can just see in the floor, and pretty much in my beer fridge, it's where my workbench is going to be, and the layout above comes out to here. So there's a 2 feet aisle there. So I should be able to reach up and get the programming track straight from there. So that's the next steps I'm going to do. So the programming track will come probably down to about the pliers there, and then the rest of the way it'll be 2 lines all the way down to start to turn down into the helix. So I've got another curved point at the bottom there to help me just coming round. Also, I've managed to install, excuse me, I've got a ducky under here, install the servos with the mounts for each of the points down in this area. Now this is a total mess, but get sorted eventually. So the wires with the plugs hanging down get plugged into a board for the points, which will then go back to the mimic board. All the yellow and white wires coming down are for track detection modules. So I'm using yellow and white for track detection, red and black for your track power, and the purple is that you can see is for frogs. So that's currently sitting down just now. So I've got all the points in this end. which means that all the points down here are now got them, the servos and things inside. I've only just put this point in up here just now, so I need to attach the servo mount to the underside of that, solder the wires up. And then all the points over this side, this one and this one are going to be run by a servo. This one here is an isolated point, if I've put the right one down, which I have. That's an insole frog point, which is going to be run off a hand thrown just for the programming track. But the rest of it is going to be run by the Mimic board, which is going to sit just here, just literally in front of that track. So that's pretty much where we're sitting at just now. 2 boxes of flexi-track, or a box and a half of flexi-tracks down, except for the 3 lengths there, which are going to take me around this corner here onto this passing loop at the bottom here. So that should give me another, well, hopefully it'll give me 3 or 4 tracks lengths of track to make a start in a helix, which I'm going to have to start thinking about putting supports in for the levels as they go up. One other thing at the top here, I'm having a valance, or it's a valance up there. It's a wee bit heavy duty, but it's nice square wood, so that'll be a framing. The boarding is going to go right up to the pitch of the roof. I was kind of hoping to use the top bit of storage in there, but there's not enough space really for anything. So what I'm going to do is put a board that comes down probably about 4 or 5 inches, which would just be above my eye level. Coming down in there, well, sorry, yeah, just above my eye level, coming down to hide all the lighting, and then I'll put a board on the front, and then I'll do a track diagram on the top for which is going to be the steelworks at this end. And I'm actually, well, steelworks is going to be roughly about here, and then up the top end I'm actually going to have a passenger station and run just a through arm tracks, which is going to go from the staging down here all the way up to the very far end there, and that'll be run by the dispatcher, so you can have something to run. So I'm kind of doing a bit of everything just now while I've got track points and wiring. So that is how we're sitting. So I'm quite pleased with the progress. Hopefully I've got another 3 days off, so hopefully I'll get this top end finished off up here and get the tracks down onto in that last point in. Then I can start getting the motors, then I can start tidying all the wiring up underneath. And you get a heavier duty black and red wire to run along the front there, which will run as a bus, but I'll take that as it comes. So anyway, any thoughts on what's happening or anything you do differently, let me know, and see you soon. Cheers, bye.